Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy. Swirl to Investment. I'm in an interracial marriage. I've been married to a black woman for over 28 years. Got married back in 1994. And there were people around me that told me not to marry that black woman. They told me that society would not accept it. You'll live a hard life. Our cultures are too different. We're different people. It will not work. And they said, what about your kids? How are they going to turn out? Who are they going to identify with? And if I would have listened to these dummies, God only knows how my life would have turned out. But fast forward 28 years later, been married 28 years. All three of my kids are college educated, doing better than both me and my wife did. When we're starting out, we did pretty good. In fact, my oldest daughter and her husband are higher educated than me and my wife. And they're doing better than us in their mid-20s financially than we are today. And we do very well. And looking forward, the ones that said it would not work have failed marriages. Their relationships haven't worked. I'm still married over 28 years. And I'm doing very well. In fact, the best thing I ever did was marry my black wife. The best thing I ever did is not listen to other people and went with my heart. And you know what? I've been living the blessing ever since. I have a marriage that's better than I ever thought it would be. I have a life that's better than I ever thought it would be. And my kids are more successful than I ever thought they would be. Thank God I married a black woman. All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was muted when I started talking. Tonight's show, okay? It's going to be an open topic tonight, but I want to honor black women, okay? This is what this show is about tonight. And I have my awesome wife, Sandy, on with me for a little bit tonight. The show's not going to go beyond 2 hours because we have a dinner engagement we got to get to tonight. We're going to do a little celebrating with some friends. But I want to honor black women, okay? And it's an open topic, but this is about you ladies. And when I have an open panel, I want to just have black women come up and talk, okay? Because this is about you, this show. It's not going to be that every show just woman's panel, but I want you guys to be able to come up and talk about what you want to talk about.
Oh, come on. It should be every show. I'm just kidding.
Every show, yeah. But look, that little TikTok video I made, that's the truth about my life. We've been married over 28 years. Got married back in May 19th, 1994. Okay. All our kids are grown up and doing very well. Highly educated. They're all college educated. Okay. I have an awesome marriage. It's gone better than I ever dreamed. Okay. And that's because of my wife. And I'm telling you, she has brought the best out of me. And she has brought the best out of the family. And I'm serious.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, I'll take a
He'll
little
have- he'll
credit,
take
but
some credit. It
yeah,
goes both ways. It's what you put into the marriage and what you put into a relationship and how we want our kids to. But yeah, it goes both ways.
yeah, and you know, but without my life wouldn't be as good as it is. I know that to be a fact. And the naysayers back when we got married, you know, we had so-called friends that tried to talk us out of that marriage. You know, I had friends, family members that said, "Don't marry that black woman." It's not that we don't like her. We love her. She's great. She's got a good personality. She's a good person. She has a lot of love, but our cultures are different. Society won't accept it. And how are your kids going to turn out? We all hear this. If you're in an interracial marriage or relationship, you'll hear these talking points. They're the same as they were when we were dating. They're the same today. People that are against it, they that's their talking points, and they'll try to discourage you. Well, look, my marriage has lasted longer than anybody in my family. A lot of people in my family have been married multiple times, divorced, failed relationships, and they stayed with their own, right? They chose the white woman, okay? I didn't. I went with a black woman, and I'm winning. I continue to win. And the characteristics my wife has, many black women have those characteristics, and I see it. And that's why black women, white men marriages last the longest, because it's because of you, black women. And I want to honor you tonight on my show and just tell you how much I love you and appreciate you. Okay? And look, my marriage, my life is proof that the black woman is the best choice. My wife is the best choice. And let me tell you something. Back in the day when our youngest daughter was born, I almost lost my wife. She went into cardiac arrest, and I broke down because I knew the blessing I had. And you know what? When she was in pain going through that, she was more worried about me and our children than herself. That is the truth. And I tell you, I am so blessed. I thank God for my wife. And you know, when I go on and talk about this and I tell black women how much love I have for you and how beautiful and awesome you are, all I'm doing is telling the truth. And
he means it from the heart.
yeah,
He's been invested in this for a long time. So, but I appreciate my husband. I love my husband.'s been backing me up ever since we've been together. When we first got together, you guys heard the story. It was pretty intense. I mean, it was, people always had something to say, and there was always something, but then that but always came in, but this and but your family, but how are people going to look at you and all this stuff. Well, like my mother told me, she's like, this is your life. You live your life on how you want it. So this is what you choose to go ahead and do this. That's fine. That is you. And so that's why when I met Brent, and we got together and talked and got to know each other more, I was like, well, you know what? This is the type of person that I wanted to go ahead and be with. This is the person that I want to go ahead and spend my life with. Well, if people are going to talk, they're going to talk, and I could pretty much care less, because this is my family and this is where we're at and this is where we're going to go ahead and be. So we're going to go for it, be here, be there for each other, help each other, because we've both been in relationships that, didn't work, and talked a little bit about that too, as well as what we want, in our lives and in our marriage. And we came to be on the same page, came to be on the same page, wanted the same things. And then also our family came involved, and our family backed us up was there. Some family was there, some wasn't. But this is my life. I choose to go ahead and do this. And this is who I'm with. I'm with my husband. He is awesome. He is, this man will have your back like no matter what. And he's always been there for me. He's always encouraged me. He's always pushed me. He's just always been there, and I appreciate him for that. So, I love him with all my heart. He's just been there through the thick and thin, and when times got rough, and he's been there. So I appreciate him more than anything. So I just appreciate him being there for our kids, being, sole provider, and his grandbabies love him. He's a good grandfather. He spoils them.
Well, I take them to the toy store and Build-A-Bear, and yeah,
right.
My granddaughters love me. They do.
They do.
But yeah, hey, you know what? That's what it's all about, family.
Yeah.
And you know what? Looking back, and I've had love for Black women since I was a child. I could feel that love. And the crazy thing is the babysitter I talked to you guys about, I talked to my mother about her, and she says, oh yeah, I loved her because you were behaved when you were with her. It was like you weren't acting crazy, hyper. See, when I was a kid, I was a child, I was hyper. And especially when I lived with my dad, but I would see my mom in the summertime and stuff. And it was like when I was with my mom, I was wild. I was, my dad, he didn't put up with it. But, she said she had trouble controlling me, but that babysitter kept me in line. And the thing of it is, I think because I had that motherly love from a young Black girl babysitting me, which I didn't have it from my mother, so to say. And my mother, to be fair, she was 17 when she had me. My dad was 19. My parents were very young. So I don't blame my mother or my father. I mean, my father turned it around and, self-corrected and made it right. My mom, she's still that 17-year-old girl. And she wasn't ready for a child, still isn't, but it is what it is. But you know what? She kept me in line, and to say, my wife keeping me in line, and it's like, when things have gone wrong and stuff, and I was a little off, my wife, with her love, would get me right. And
yeah,
and look, my path isn't, I don't believe it's a path I chose. I believe it's a path God chose for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, God puts us in places that we think that we know, and but this was just for us to come together. It was right. It felt right. It was in the right time. It was for us to be together, and we just at that time just had a lot in common, and and Brent was just the person that the man I was looking for, the man I wanted in my life, the person that I wanted to be with. And so, when we first started dating and my mom, met him, my mom loved him right off the bat when she first met him. And, my mom was she's very strong in character, and, and first people that she meets, she's like, she don't hug everybody. If she hugs you, you're good. And so when she met him and talked to him and his character and the way he, carried himself, and he was, a Christian, and she's like, yep, this is a person that you that you need to meet, that you need to be with. And she says, don't fight it. Don't listen to everybody, because that's what we had. People were like, but what are you guys going to do? How you people are going to go ahead and just tell you all sorts of things. And I did have that, and like I said, we had people that, had bets on us that we wouldn't last.
Yeah, they did.
Wouldn't last, and so I, just decided to go ahead and stay away from that type of, even though they were my friends, we grew up, but when I have that type of surrounded me, I don't need that. So I pretty much just kind of just let that go. We were friends, but we keep our distance because this is my life, and if you choose to be in it, that's fine. If you don't, hey, that's okay too. So, but we're doing good. We are a happy family. We are, we just, we're doing great. We're doing great by the grace of God. We're being blessed, and so that's how I'm going to go ahead and proceed this marriage like always. We've been together for 20, like I said, 28 years. People didn't think we would last 2 years. Proved them wrong, but then there always still have, if some people still always have something to say.
Yeah,
so,
my grandmother gave us 6 months. In a year, she'd be very surprised. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but we outlasted. Look, my family is not good with relationships.
My family's not hardly either. So.
Yeah, but hey, we made it work. We made it happen.
Yeah.
And look, and I tell people this: Black women are so amazing, and if you show them love and respect, and she loves you, you're set. You have it made. And look, I'm not the best man out there. I'm not. I got my flaws. But
not too much. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Just kidding.
But you know what? I love my wife more than any problems that anybody can bring to us. More than society, more than my family, community. Look, like I said, anybody steps in my way with me and my wife, they're done. I'm breaking contact. And I have with family members, okay? Most of my family's okay with it, but there are a few idiots, okay? And we had and so-called friends, I had break contact. Mm-hmm. You're not my friend if you don't like my wife.
Right. And vice versa. It's the same thing with, with him. So I know him. So if you know me as a person, then you should accept who I'm with. So if you've been knowing me for years and you accept me as my friend, you've been knowing me for my friend, then you accept my husband. You get to know him. Don't just automatically just see him and then automatically just go ahead and make assumptions or anything like that, which a lot of people have, because everybody just hears everything else that goes around, but they don't pay attention to the people that they know and listen to the people that they know. I mean, I don't judge anybody if somebody brings up their boyfriend or whoever that they're going to go ahead. I don't judge them by what I see or what they look like or anything. I'm going to get to know that person because that's the person that I've been knowing for years. So I'm going to get to know them and see, who this person is that, that you fell in love with it or that you want to be with. But, sometimes I'm not on that end. It just, sometimes it didn't work out like that, but that's fine because, we're good. We're straight. I don't need a lot of people to go ahead and just be surrounded with me or anything else. I love to have my friends and love to be there, but if that's going to be a problem and you're just not going to, get to know my husband, or then you really just don't know me at all. So we just pretty much just kind of leave that at a distance and say hi and pretty much go on from there. But yeah, it's all. That's what it pretty much is.
And look, I look at stats and I dig and I try to see where we're at, our community, Black women, white men, and I'm encouraged when I see the numbers going up. Mm-hmm. And you know what that says? It shows character that Black women have. Black women are the most educated. And I know some people don't want to give them that credit. They want to, say it's not the right degrees or the right field or they're just enrolled in all this crap. But they do have the most degrees too. So they're not just the most enrolled. And, you know, and I hate to see that because we need to give Black women the credit they deserve. They are the most educated. Yes. So we need to say it. And Black women are the most loyal. You know, we say race loyal, but I came to the conclusion that it's not, I don't believe it's race loyal. I believe it's love loyal. And of course, Black women are more with more Black men than other groups of men, of course. And Black women love their family, their community, and other Black people, of course. But the sad thing is only 27% of Black women are married in the United States today. And that is a shame. That is unacceptable. They're the most educated. Entrepreneurship, they lead the way in that. You know, us as white men, when we marry Black women, our marriages last. So that shows character in Black women. You know, and I think us as white men, I think we appreciate Black women more than Black men because we don't have instant access, or we don't feel that way. We feel if a Black woman gives us the opportunity to get to know her, to have a relationship, we embrace that. I know I did. Hey, whenever I was in a relationship, I felt like I won the lottery. I felt like, you know, I was on cloud nine. Okay. And I appreciated that. When I asked my wife to marry me, oh my God, when she said yes, it was like I was on such a high like no other. Just filled with happiness, just filled with love, and just and you know, and when we got married, that was the best day of my life when I married my wife Sandy. And
Yep, he was in, you know, he went to the military, and he was like, you know, military is, well, military, I, you know, like as I always said, my life has been totally military, so I understood it. And so when he got in the military, he was like, well, you know, this is we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to look forward to doing, and this is how. And I said, okay, that's fine. You know, we go ahead because we're going to build. This is how we're going to build. This is how we're going to start off, you know, and this is how we're going to make everything work. I mean, that's fine. You know, I had his back, and then once he retired, he had mine. And he's like, you know, just stick with me. You know, I promise everything will work out. You know, I just want to get this in for my military career, and you know, and then once that has, I was like, okay, no problem, that's fine. You know, because I know the blessings will come. You know, when you have your faith and you put your faith in, you pray in your marriage, God has it sends back to you full forth, and we have been blessed. You know, with this family, with the careers. And pretty much with, you know, with my career that I have started now, and I've been in for a little while, which, you know, it came at the right time because right when he retired, and then we came to be with my mom, and there's this job I really wanted, and I didn't know if I was going to get it or not because it was a long shot. Boom, we got home, this job open, applied for it, and I got my job that I've always wanted. So I was so everything just came forth. It was a blessing, and we just, you know, I you know, we happen. We just been blessed. We just been, everything is just going. You know, yeah, we had our bumps in the road. I'm not saying everything is perfect. You know, I'm not saying, but we, you know, we had it, and we just went with it, and ever since then, we just, it's just been smooth sailing, you know, and now that we're a little bit older and we're getting a little bit wiser every time we come in, we learn everything different now. So, you know, but, you know, we go from there, and, you know, God has just, you know, been with us, and we've been just blessed. You know, I can't say we're going to, you know, we're going on our family vacation and we're going to be with all the kids and stuff. And so we're looking forward to that. Yeah. You know, haven't done that for a while. And so, just, you know, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I am just happy, and I'm just, it's great, you know.
Yeah, and you know what? And look, our family is strong. People told me in the beginning, what? How will your kids identify? And they're going to be confused. And there was never any confusion. Our kids know exactly who they are, and they're doing very well. I don't have to give my kids money because they're making their own. They're doing look, and and they're doing a lot better than we did when we started, and we did really good. I said our oldest daughter has a master's degree, and her husband's moving up in rank in the Air Force, and I mean they're doing financially. They're outpacing us, and look, we do very good. We're in the six figures. We're not just and I'm telling you, in their mid-20s, that successful, it's amazing. And I thank God for that. I want all my children to do better than me. I want them to be more successful. And both me and my wife Sandy want that. We've we fought for that. We put our kids in private schools, charter schools. Look, my education sucks, so I didn't want my kids to have a crappy education like I had.
The education was high on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? We were hard on our kids. We didn't accept C's and average. No.
No, we didn't.
Because we want them to have the best things in life. We want them to be able to compete, not just get along, or not just get through it, but just tear through it. Just lead the way. And all three of our kids have been on the honor roll all through when they started till high school. I know our son had a little problem because when he was young, he had a speech impediment. They didn't understand him. But once we got him in, tutors in the first, second grade, we got him in a private school. It was on a roll from then on. But we wanted our kids to succeed. We wanted them to lead the way one day.
But the options were there when we had for their education.
Yeah.
The options were there, so we took advantage of that. I wasn't gonna, because my parents always like, education. They push that education's important. Keep, you have to have that education to compete. So as they were installing that in me, when I had, when I said to my kids, when I had my kids, I was like, yep, we're going to do that. And our kids were premature. And so a lot of them were like, well, your kids are going to be slow. Well, no. So that just told me that I just need to have my kids work twice as hard, be there. They will still learn and they'll still thrive. And so, and that's what they did. They just thrived. They did good. But we just had to keep pushing them, keep, letting them know they were there and we're proud of them and stuff. And so that, so that it helped them and encouraged, our son. He has some of a speech, and sometimes he would just, shut down. But
he speaks clearly now. Look, I had a speech impediment. I knew what he was going through because I don't know what it is. In my family, the boys, we have it. The girls don't. They speak totally clear at 2 years old.
Yeah, because we get our point across.
Yeah, but us as we grow out of it, but when we're young, it's like people have trouble understanding us. And but we got through that, and it was on a roll since then, second grade all the way through. No problem.
Very good.
And look, and they're self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And I talk to other people with their kids, and they got to give them money. They're not doing this. They're doing crazy things, but thank God. But you know what? And this is where the degree does matter. Okay. If my wife didn't have a degree, I still would have married her. Hands down. But that shows character. We need to embrace that because you know what? Black women have shown with less resources, they can be the best. And look, I mean, it's just character. And black women that are with a good man, their marriages last.
Yeah, because we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We appreciate that when somebody has our back, because us as black women, we do carry a lot on our shoulders, and I mean, we carry a lot and we juggle a lot, and it's like a never ending story. But we always find a way to go ahead and make sure our family is safe. We go ahead and make sure our family has food on the table. We go those ways because hey, it's been installed in us our ever since grandmothers, mothers, and we see how they have raised their kids, nephews. We all been there with our aunts and uncles, and we see, once us as black women see that, we know what we need to do as far as make a family work. What do we have to do? What happens if we fall on hard times? We know how to go out there and get food, and that can feed not only 3 people but 10 people. We just know how to go ahead and make that work, because it's just been installed in us that we know that family is everything to us. In order for us to go ahead and be supportive, with we have our husband and everything here, then we're going to go ahead and make that sacrifice. We're going to go ahead and do that, because that's how us black women do. We do that, and we take care of our families, and we're always going to be there. I need to step out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do need to step out for a couple of minutes, but I should be back here shortly. So I do apologize, but I'll be back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting furniture moved around and stuff. We got people coming in, so my wife's going to step out for a little bit. But I wanted to bring my wife on tonight, and I want to honor black women tonight. I want this show to be about that. Ladies, the panel, when we have a panel, it's your panel. And all right, hold on. I'm going to switch to headphones real quick. Okay, can everybody hear me? I had to switch because we got movers coming in and taking furniture and stuff, and so I had to switch. Can you guys hear me okay? If you can, give me a 1.
No, that's no. You're fine. Well, I'm sorry you had to.
Okay, good. Loud and clear. All right, thank you. Okay, yeah. But what I want to do tonight is I want to honor the ladies, and ladies, this is your show tonight. Whatever you want to talk about, okay? Um, and I'll switch back once everybody leaves here, and then my wife will come back for a little bit, and we'll have that open panel. In fact, I'm going. You know what? I'll put the link up here now if you guys want to come in. So, all right. Oh man.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that'll work. All right.
Yeah.
Can you park up in the back up in the driveway, or if that's too much?
All right, I'm switching back. All right, can you guys still hear me? Let me put up the panel. You guys can come up if you want. Uh, and then Sandy will be back shortly. And if you guys want to ask us a few questions, you can. But yeah, sorry about the interruption. It's okay. So there's the link. If you want to come up, you can. Um, I'm just removing some stuff. But yeah, I want to honor Black women tonight, and this is your panel, ladies. Whatever you want to talk about. Now, guys, I just want this to be Black women coming up. We're going to honor Black women tonight, and whatever they. Oh, you don't hear anymore? Okay, hold on. I wonder why my. Okay, can you hear me now? It's good now. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, this is your panel, ladies. Whatever you want to talk about. And guys, let the ladies talk. I'm not bringing up no guys. It's all Black women. If you guys want to come up, if you don't, that's fine too. But this is I'm setting this aside for you. Whatever topics you want to talk about. Okay, this is an open topic. If you want to talk about dating or what Black women go through, whatever you want to talk about. Um, anyway, uh, hello, Ellie. How's it going?
Good, and
Or
you?
El? Did I say it
Yeah,
right?
L. Mm-hmm.
L.
L.
Okay, yeah. I said Ellie. Yeah. How you doing, El?
Good. I just want for a topic suggestion. I was thinking like black girl like excellence. I just want to hear people's like success stories. Just get motivation,
Yeah,
and achievements of black women.
yeah. And this, whatever you want to talk about, and Black women do have a lot of achievements, and a lot of times people don't give Black women the credit they deserve, and it's sad and it's unacceptable. Um, and I just wanted to talk about that because, look, being the most educated, less resources. I mean, why aren't we talking about that more often? Um, you know, and Black women are loyal, they're loving, they're the most loving women on earth. They are. A lot of times Black women go through some things that they might be upset, they might have emotions going, but a lot is put on their back. And a lot, within the Black community, they're carrying the Black community. Um, and they're uplifting people as they move along. And at some point, we need to start uplifting Black women. We need to focus more, and embrace the accomplishment. A degree means something. It means character. It means that you've went above and beyond. You know, you didn't settle or just you didn't sit there and play the victim. You made it happen, and you're also the most traditional women. You know, most women of faith are Black women. So you're in all areas you exceed the standard. In fact, you are the standard. You are the blueprint. And I'm not just saying that. Look at the numbers. Okay, look at the statistics, and it says it for itself. You
Yeah,
know.
I feel like from a young age, we are just blossom into black girl excellence. Like I know in elementary school and middle school, high school, it was always like honors roll, like extra credit. Like my parents pushed me to meet the expectations and then some more, like it was
Mhm.
always like B's were okay, but it was like a disappointment type of thing. Was like you gotta be, you know, you could have done better. You could have, studied more. Like they really pushed me to just be like ambitious, and I just love. Like I know I'd probably say this in a different life, but like because of the environment my parents put me in, I know countless of Black women who make six figures. You know, they've done just so well for themselves, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I know a number of Black women too that are making six figures. Yes, um, doing very well. Hey, Princess and the Tina and Yolanda, welcome to the panel, ladies.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Brett.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Okay, that's good. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was Yolanda.
Yes, I was just saying hi.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, great. How you doing, ladies? Yeah, whatever you ladies want to talk about, you know, the floor is yours. This
Uh,
tonight is your night on my channel. Okay.
hey, Brent, I just wanted to thank you so much for your platform. I've been in an interracial marriage and we just had our 13th anniversary, and I wish there was these resources back when I first got married, but we obviously did not have YouTube and live streaming and
Yeah.
all this technology. We didn't even own cell phones when me and my husband met, but at least it's here now. So the next generation, they'll have this support system and all of these different groups and all of these different discussions being had. And it was a rough ride, but now we're older and my kids are older and they've moved out and everything like that. So we got a lot of the kinks straightened out now. But I wish I had other Black women who were in who you know, are. I think the aggression comes in, as you all know, when it's a Black woman with a white guy, specifically.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of aggression from other Black people and even other Mexican and Asian people. Like, we have every other culture staring at us crazy, but it seems like nobody bats an eyelash when the guy's Black. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, you're so right. And look, it was that way back then, and even today, it's like we're the biggest target. It seems when the haters go in, And I know there's haters for every combination of an interracial relationship, but us, we get the brunt of it from
Yeah.
both sides. Yeah, I mean, like I dealt with issues in my family, my wife's, and society from both sides, and
Yep.
and you know what, and you've been 13 years. That's awesome, but you know what? That's not unheard of. Our marriage
Right.
is
Yes.
long. It's I say 28 years, and people say, "Man, how did you make it that long?" Well, I got a good wife, and I love her, and we make it work. And you know what? And I like the YouTube because we come together, and you can talk to people that are like-minded like you that go through the same things. We got our own little community here. We're not the majority by no means. We're the biggest minority, but our numbers are growing. We are the most successful. Um,
Right.
and I give that credit to Black women because when you give them something, it's like they perfect it. They make it better. I made this analogy when I get a suit. My wife, she goes in there and tailors it. I mean, she said, okay, I want this. Take a little off here, and where we bought our last suit, the guy's like, yeah, go ahead and go back there. Just mark what you want, and she does, and then here you go. Um, but
That's funny.
That magic touch.
yeah, and it's like that analogy is like what she's done with my life. She's shown me love. She's always been there for me, and she brought the best out of me. She made me better than I was. And it's like, I'm here for you. I give you my love, my last name, my resources, and she makes it better. And in fact, she makes me more productive by just having that love and support that I feel there's nothing I can't accomplish. And failure's not an option. I do not want to let my wife down. I don't. I just somehow I got to be successful because I know she has faith in me. She knows that she believes in me, and I just, it's just amazing. And looking back, I'm just like, me and my wife have been through some things. I almost lost her, and when she was giving birth to my youngest daughter, I got a brain tumor a few years ago, and that was a scare. Um,
Oh no.
yeah, yeah, it
Sorry
was
to hear that.
non-cancerous. It was non-cancerous, but they had to go inside my head and take it out. Um, it's crazy. The technologies they have, they went through my nose, made an incision, used a remote thing to cut it out, and voila. But anyway, um, we just lost somebody. Someone dropped off. Hey, if you drop off, you could come back in. The link's up there. Sometimes StreamYard kicks you off. I've been kicked off panels, and it's not the host doing it. Just sometimes it just, or if you're using a cell phone, if you look at the comments, sometimes you'll knock yourself off the panel that way. So if that happens, ladies, just come back up. Um, I don't kick nobody off unless they're being rude and mean or something like that. But anyway, but yeah, ladies, I'll stop talking because I'll get carried away, and you guys will be like, okay, when do I get to talk? But anyway,
But yeah, I actually wanted to reiterate your comment earlier in regards to Black women having to carrying the most load in the community. That's definitely true, because I will say this with me. I Me having ADHD, it's definitely a burden having to be both Black, a woman, and having ADHD, because I'm constantly the butt of every joke. I'm
mm,
constantly picked on, bullied, and all this other stuff. And this is just back in school. As an adult, it kind of happens, but this is like way before I started realizing who I am and knowing who I am as a whole person, and recognizing that the Black community has really not done anything for Black women, especially Black women with mental health issues.
mm,
It's just the constant level of toxicity that's being put upon us, and we still have to carry on day to day through all of that, even feeling like we're trying to feel like, oh, I'm fine, I can get through this, I can do this, I'm strong. No, no. I need
Right.
resources, and I need my meditation, I need prayer, I need all this stuff in order for me to feel sane. I need to feel like I'm not about to fucking explode on somebody. That's the
yeah,
reason
Right.
why I had to divest from the community. That's one of the reasons why I had to divest. I couldn't take it anymore. They're not understanding of Black women's mental health issues. They're not understanding of our plight. They're not understanding of any of the stuff that we go through on a day-to-day basis that never gets hardly mentioned on the news. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, we're not allowed to be human. Like your topic about just feeling like you're not allowed to be like neurodivergence, any type of difference that makes a Black woman like unique in some way. If she's not like a cookie cutter version, like caricature, if she's immediately demonized, it's insane. Like we have to be carbon copies. We're not allowed to be different. Like even hobbies, those like quote unquote like alternative Black women, they're seen as weird weirdos just for being artsy, and it's like it's insane. We're not like everyone's allowed to be human except for us.
And that's the story of all our lives. It's like we're only allowed to be like a certain stereotype. I mean, there's thousands of stereotypes that people want to give us. But when it comes
That's
to us making
true.
our own decisions about who we want to be, everybody got something to say.
yeah.
Yeah, like God forbid you love art, music, or creative, oh my God, it's insane.
Mhm.
Good. I have a
Um,
younger sibling that also has a similar problem. She had growing up ADHD and speech issues, and a heavy girl, and then we are a military family. We grew up around not just other Black military families, but people of other cultures. And my little sister really held her own, but she caught a lot of problems from other children not wanting to communicate with her or interact with her in any way. She had a really difficult time, but she eventually got married to a guy that is just a kind of different kind of cat like herself, but a much older white guy. But it worked out. But still, both me and my sister lived through what you just explained.
Yeah. Hey, Yolanda, welcome back. Oh, somebody popped off. Okay. All right. All right. Well, sorry. Welcome back, Yolanda. Sometimes this StreamYard, you get kicked off. But L, okay, L, welcome back. Sorry you dropped off. But yeah, ladies, if that happens, just hit the link and go ahead and come back on. But yeah, and pro white male leadership is here. Welcome, young lady. Good to see you.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Okay. Yeah, I just tonight, whatever you guys want to talk about, and we'll go with
Oh,
that.
I hear the conversation, staying away from them trifling people.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's how it is. I'm sure everybody hears me talking about my family. So, I'm at the point where, yeah, I got to stay away from them because I don't want to end up in prison. So that's where it's at now. So I just stay the hell away from them.
Okay. Hey, Yolanda, you're on twice. Did you switch to computer to phone or something?
No, I'm still on my phone. I'm just too lazy to go to my office
Oh,
to get on my computer.
no, that's fine. I just got you on twice. I don't know which one to take down. I don't know.
I guess it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Both of them are on my phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll do the one that's muted.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You still hear me, Yolanda?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. I just didn't
Yes,
want
I'm
to
here.
kick you off accidentally. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're good. All right. Yeah. What you guys were talking about? Yeah, ladies. I mean, a lot of these, bozos don't give you credit for, what you deserve, and if we were being truthful, um, who leads the way when it comes to women. I mean, you can't argue it, hands down. Black women lead the way. And look, when I got married, I made the best choice. I did. And look, I'm from a community that has 2% black people. So if I could see your beauty and your character and how you do things, I don't understand why the rest of the world don't see it, especially where there's um, a bigger population of black women. Um, but I don't know. I guess I just see the truth, but but what is awesome is the interracial marriage, and with black women, we're more successful than even with our own. And that says something. That says something about your love, your character, and how you conduct yourself.
Sometimes when I hear my husband talk about some of the behind the scenes conversations he has with some of our male neighbors who are also white, and I can think of a couple of guys that are married to the same woman of color community. I guess I don't want to give too many details,
Yeah.
but I think even without people knowing that his wife's a black woman, when they hear him describe me, they have he gives a pretty good what do you call it, a representation, for lack of a better term, a reputation. He says a lot of nice things about me, and then when people finally meet me, they're so surprised that one, I'm a black woman, and two, people would comment to him when he would be out and about and say, "Gee, you must have a really understanding wife." Or you must have a really supportive wife for you to be able to do this, that, and the other. So I think even though I may be considered, bottom of the barrel in the back of everyone's minds, everybody sees a considerable difference in how my kids were raised. Now, that's not to say nobody is unaware of the issues that are in our culture, because they do. But they do see a difference in when my kids were little, their manners. They were polite, they were friendly, they were well spoken. So I think people were, and then too, I forgot to mention, this is my second marriage. My three kids were from my first marriage to a black guy. So my husband adopted my three fully black kids and then helped me raise them. They were very little when we met. So then I think people were that much more surprised that, oh my goodness, these kids are from a single mother home, and they're very nice kids, and they just got along with everybody in the neighborhood, and obviously they stick out. So I mean, it's hard not to know which family they belong to. But my kids got some really good compliments, and I think people can definitely see the difference when one of us is positively represented. And don't get me wrong, I've had my moments with my neighbors where they know there's a difference between a black woman and a white woman too, for sure. But other than that, it's been mostly positive. And I think people are, even if the neighbors would stop by, and they'd be so surprised that I had three kids and my house was so clean, because, their house looked like an explosion, went through it. So,
Yeah.
so just even things like that, with three kids, my house would be clean, it'd be quiet. And they're like, how is this happening here?
Yeah. Well, we talk about black women being conditioned. Well, us as white people been conditioned. Just stereotypes and generalizations. A lot of times we hear it so much we believe it to be true. And the image that Hollywood puts on black women, and some of these self-hating black men, how they talk about black women. Um, we hear this, and if we're not around a certain group, we start believing these stereotypes, these generalizations people make, and it's unfortunate. But when we get to the truth, we're finding out, you know what? Black women are the best option. And you know what? Nobody can argue this if they look at the numbers. They can't. They can't. Okay, well, black women are the least likely to get married. Yeah, in their community. But when they open up their options,
Yes,
the
that's
marriage,
true.
the marriage success rate skyrockets. And you know what? Us as white men that choose black women, our marriages are more successful than those of us white men that marry white women. We're running rings around them with black women. And like I said, I chose a black woman, and I have the best result within my family, within my community. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's the truth is out there if we would just search for it. The problem is people go on what others say, how they perceive things, what's been passed down, and and what we see on TV. But that's not true. And you know what? This is starting to surface, and it needs to. The truth needs to come out. Um, nobody
Hollywood
should,
is such garbage.
huh?
I said Hollywood is such garbage. I call it the
It is.
freaking black male apologist, white guilt capital of the world.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
well,
are.
that's the problem right there. It's because black men are saying this about us, so it is what it is. So
Yeah, that is a problem, and they need to be checked. I mean, say no, that ain't true. Black women are the best. Well, well, their baby's mamas. Okay, well, I hate that term. Um, they're the most single mothers because the men made them that way. Look, but whether people like it or not, the men are the leaders, and when they're not doing what they're supposed to, the women and children are going to suffer. There's no way around it. If you do not marry the woman you lay down with, she's going to suffer, and the children are going to suffer, and he's going to suffer. He's not going to end up right. He's not going to be successful. It's it's that karma kicks in. You're going to pay for what you do. And look, I believe in God, and you know what? If you don't marry that woman that you lay down with, you don't do it right. There'll be judgment upon you, and you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to feel true love. It is what it is. I mean, and look, those of us that are investing in black women are starting to find out, you know what? We got it better than we even thought we would. And that's my life story. Look, like I said, my marriage is better than I thought it would be. My family turned out better than I thought it would be. And I had all the faith in the world it was going to work out great. But it's even better. And you know, and as a child, I've had love for black women, and that's of God. I wasn't thinking about how she looked and her body shape and that stuff. I just felt the love. Um, and black women have a way when they love you, you know it, and you do right. She loves you, and you do right. You're set. You have no worries. Yeah, you're going to have problems because we're people. We're flawed, right? But you're going to be blessed, and you're going to get through it just fine. And that's the message I want to send. I want people to see my family and my wife and let people know, hey, this does work. In fact, it's more successful than staying with your own race. Seriously. I've been told that lie it won't work. I've been told the lie my kids will be unstable and all screwed up. No, it's a lie. In fact, black women perfect the relationship. They make it better than most relationships. Seriously. They'll make you better as a man than you ever thought you could be. Now, is there some bad black women? Sure. But hey, the majority, look at the stats. Numbers do not lie. They've done
Yeah, it's
many
like with
studies.
flowers. Like if you like take care, like treat us right, we bloom and like produce fruits that you wouldn't have imagined. So I've seen it before.
Yeah. And look, something I seen in black women as a child and through the years, you know what? And I've met young black women, middle-aged black women, old black women. And you know what they got in common? They have a big heart. They're nurturing. And when they love you, it's a love that comes straight from God. It really is. And when you feel that, it hits you. And I mean, it's hard to explain. It's like it's just perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you just feel that. It's like, wow. But
I think as me and my husband grew a little older and as the years went by and we could kind of fill in the holes and the gaps where we both had. And then it got to where I knew what he was thinking before he finished a thought, or I could pretty much estimate what he needs to have done around the house or the errands he needs run before, he even asked me to do it. So I think eventually, because we're both more in tune with each other than even my previous black husband, or even maybe just culturally, we're no longer, as black women, we're not a fit even with most other black women anymore at that point. So I guess um, the fact that you're kind of disenfranchised from your own culture kind of just makes, I guess, black women and white men much more cohesive, because you're just kind of carving your own lane together at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Yolanda, no problem. Thank you for coming on, though. You're always welcome on the panel. But yeah, you're right. And it's like we're the two people that society does not want to get together. Um, and it's crazy. It seems like white women are, it's more acceptable for them to be with a black man than a white man with a black woman. And, it was more of a disturbance in my family when I did it. And then the white women that were with a black man, it's okay. It's like, well, all right, that's just what they do. But when I did, it's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Like, and it's crazy. And in the black community, it's the same way. When the black man dates other women, it's like, okay, that's what he does. But when a black woman does it, oh my God, there's a problem. She's a sellout, a bed witch, all this crap. When she's just going with a man she loves,
Um,
and you know, and it's disgusting. It's like, what are black women to do if they want to be married? If you look at the stats, only 27% are married. What do they do? And black women outnumber black men by over 2 million. And the numbers climb due to incarceration, gang violence. It just blows my mind. I mean, at this point, if you want a marriage and a family, it's like survival time. It's like, if you want that, you going to have to open up your options. A lot of black women have to, or just not get married. I, it shouldn't be that way. I think every woman that wants to be married and have a good husband should have it. Um, but unfortunately, there's a lot of pimps and players instead of husbands and fathers. And black women have to go where those husbands and fathers are. And some might not look like them. It might be a white guy, an Asian. We and I wish that men were real men these days, and they were more family focused. But you know, can't control people. The only thing you can do is do what's best for you and find that good man that loves you. Um, and I tell men all the time, I tell white men and other non-black men that, hey, black women are amazing. They're beautiful, not just to look at, but they really have a big heart. They're really supportive. They just black women just want to be loved and respected like everybody else. And in fact, you get more of a woman in a black woman than any other group of women. And I know I might get in trouble for saying that. Somebody's going to be mad at me. I don't care. The truth is the truth.
no,
And
it's just
I
the
made my
heavy.
choice. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it's because of the heavy-handed, you know, uh, deck of cards that we're stacked up against, that we have to keep trying to, for the just trying to navigate through life with that many more obstacles and having to disprove stereotypes and to try to just walk into spaces where you're not wanted or not appreciated, and just all those years. And then sometimes it can make us callous too, but all of those experiences of having to endure and having to be mentally and emotionally strong, well, at the same time, our minimum when we're at our best is, a lot higher than other cultures of women that have a softer place to land. And now on the opposite extreme, that works against us too, to where we're over the top, rough and calloused and things like that. But I'm just saying, with all the layers of things we have to overcome and achieve and do because of the way we're perceived in society, that you know our bare minimum is just pretty high up the totem pole when you compare us to other women. Now, I'm not saying we don't have our bottom of the barrel ones too, because they're giving us a hard time out here and making life difficult for me when I go places, because white women think that things are going to go downhill, as they say, when a black woman shows up. So I have to deal with that too.
Well, actually, you know what? Actually, when black women are around, things are more pleasant. And I know this might sound like a generalization, but it seems like when black women are around in your communities, your neighborhood, it seems pleasant. It seems like, they're loving and they get to know you and you're friends with them. It's like they're just pleasant to be around. Um, and a lot of black men, on the other hand, it seems like there's drama and trouble. And one guy told me on one of my shows one time, he said, "You know what?" He says, "I feel about white women like you do black women." He says, "Why don't we just trade?" And I'm like, "What?
Oh,
You can't
wow.
trade people. I mean, women go with the men they want to be with, right? They're human
Yeah.
beings. But if that was a thing and say all the white women left and went to black men and black women went to white men and you just seen black women all through the neighborhood, I would be okay with that. I would embrace it. Um, you know, but people are people. And the reason I feel the way I do about black women, because of the love black women have shown me through the years. The not just dating, but the friendships, the in church and at the job. It just black women have been, for the most part, really pleasant, really beautiful women. And and I've seen it. And the only thing black women I think require is you just give them love and respect. And we should do that with everybody. But um, a lot of these guys are, and a lot of black men are using black women as punching bags. They're talking about their hair, their makeup, and them acting crazy and all this. Well, I can go on a camera today and pick any racial group of people and find crazy people in that group. I can make a channel about crazy Asians or crazy white people or black people. I can do that. But what would be the
Right.
point? You know,
Right.
how about making a channel about the positive things black women do? Um,
I really
you know
do agree
what?
with you with the sorry, with the like black women being like you can find it throughout all the ethnicities of black women. You see like that common trend of us being loving. Like, I remember when I was really really little and I didn't speak too much English at the time, and I remember I saw this old elderly black woman, and she, of course American and everything, and she was struggling for a shopping cart, and I just went up to help her, and she was super sweet, and like she called me pet names, like complete stranger, and
Mhm.
she was like, "Thank you, sweetheart," and everything. She gave me a candy, and it was like, I don't know, like the small gestures where like if you just show them kindness, show us kindness, it's like they'll like double it, It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
they they do. I showed my wife love, and I married her, and wow, you get it back, you know, twice as much. You get more than you put out. I look, I love my wife, and I've done many things for her, and I get it back. I'm blessed. It's like, she just gives me everything, and I'll give her everything, and that's our love is bigger than our problems. And with black women, you can get through anything. She'll be with you whether you're up or down. There was a time after my army career where I had a good job and quit the job to go overseas to have a better job. And something happened medically, and I couldn't do that job. So I didn't have a job. I had to start all over. And with my retirement, it was like a quarter of what I was getting paid when I was on active duty. So, and our bills didn't go down because I lost that job and my pay is lower. And I was at rock bottom at that time. But my wife told me, she says, you know what? And I'm like, what about our house? How we're going to pay the bills? And I was worried. And she says, well, I'm going to be with you whether you're in a house or a cardboard box. And at that point, I just felt the love in that. And I worked 2-3 jobs till I got back on my feet. And the amazing thing is I got a better job than the one I lost going overseas, and I can be at home making more money. So there was a blessing in there. And, I thought, wow, I'm going to lose everything. And you know what? I never fell behind in bills. Everything worked out. And our kids didn't even know we went through that struggle. you know, but that love and support had me motivated where there's nothing I can't do. So I just got to start all over. Okay, let's do it. Um, that's what true love does for you, you know. And she told me, and we talk about it. She said, "You know what? I never had a doubt. Like, wow, you had that much faith in me." I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have that much faith in me. I knew I would I would bounce back, but I didn't think it would go that smooth. But looking back, it wasn't really smooth. It was just she brought the best out of me, and with her character, improved my character. That's what black women do for you.
Yep, we learn early on to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, and if you got a little something, it's going to be a lot. It's going to
Exactly.
be, yeah. But you know what? I just and look, ladies, I I see the amazing things you do. I see the degrees you get. I don't just see it looking at numbers. I see it in the real world. I see black women, like one of the ladies said, making six figures. I see that there's a lot of black women doing this. They're improving their careers. And when it comes to traditional women, black women pretty much own that too. I mean, I black women are the most loving wives and mothers. I mean, they are. And look, and I tell men, you can find a black woman that will be a great wife. And she might be a single mother and have kids. But you know what? Don't judge her. Look at the options she's being handed in her community. Look at the
Yes,
leadership she deals with. And when she finds a good man, oh man, she'll give you everything. And us as white men, we're not the boogeyman monsters that we're perceived. There's a lot of us that are good men, and we will marry women that have kids, and I see it. Yeah.
No,
I'm
we
sorry.
will even marry the worst man and still make something and make it work. So, I mean, there's just no end to us trying to make something work.
Right. 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do. And I've seen black women, work that extra job and put a guy through school that don't deserve her. Um, and that's what black women do. They give you everything, their heart, their love, and you know what? And I'd say, ladies, don't do that to a man that don't deserve it. Don't give your love to a man that don't deserve your love. You know. All right.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Had to step out. Things to do around the house. Your list is never done. So,
Hi, Sandy.
hi. How you guys doing?
Hi, Miss
Hello.
Sandy.
Good.
Yeah, we're just getting. Are you
Trying to
okay?
I'm trying to catch my breath a little bit.
Yeah, she had to take
Sorry.
over. What we're doing is we had some furniture picked up because we're getting new furniture and so yeah, that's why there was a little disturbance in between. The guys that were supposed to do it were late, and
Yeah.
it was supposed to be done by 3, but they came at 5 during the show, and
Yeah. So we're
so I mean,
behind the curve. So sorry.
yeah.
So sorry if I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm trying to catch my breath here. So sorry about that. But
Completely understand.
so what did I miss?
Oh, we were just
I've
talking.
been back and forth into the garage.
Yeah, we were talking about black women, appreciating them for their accomplishments.
Oh, okay.
And how
How we
they're
can make it work.
how they're treated through the media, the black community, number of black men treating black women bad, taking them for granted, and how black women pour everything into a relationship.
Right.
And I was telling a little bit about,
Everything
what we
pretty much,
went through, that
Right.
job I had overseas where I
Right.
had the good job but quit it
Mhm.
for the better job and then
Mhm.
had no job. And
Yeah.
you told me
We were
that.
kind of scared when in that moment of what everything's going to happen. Things. When we get thrown curveballs and stuff like that, we just pretty much have to, just look at everything, see how everything works, because there's always going to be, something that's going to give and something that's going to be there, and so whatever that can make it work, it will work. So I think patience is a virtue.
Mhm.
So patience takes a lot, especially when we're, you know, thrown curveballs and stuff like that. So we just, we roll with it, look at what we got to do, and pretty much and pretty much go from there. It's it's just a work in progress.
Yeah. And I was telling how you told me, I said, well, what about the house? And you said, well, I'll be with you whether we're in a house or a cardboard box. And that, my God, that energized me, guys. I was still worried, but I just felt like, wow.
And we also had other resources too.
I had my retirement.
And
So
we had resources as far as family. So if anything would happen, we had family. My mom was like, if anything happens, you guys are welcome. So we always had somebody in our family backing us up. So in anything that came about, we knew that there was, I could depend on a family member to help out or to help us out, to go ahead and get through some of these hard times. So there was always a family resource.
But the amazing thing is we didn't have to ask for nobody's help. We got through it.
Yeah.
I had to work 2-3 jobs and I was tired, but you do what you got to do. And, and my wife jumped in there and was working too. And I felt bad. I want my wife to be at home comfortable, not a worry in the world, right?
Well, when it comes to family, that's what, when it comes to family and getting things established, that's when we step in, because, it's not it's both effort. You're working to go ahead and make we're gonna make this work together. So everything worked out, and we ate ramen for a little while, but we mixed it up with. So we made little things, that stuff like that and stuff. But we ate, we were fed, we got through it. Now we look back at it and we're like, wow, how did we do that? I mean, living on a one income, when he was in the service, that was a challenge in itself. Getting paid once a month, that was a challenge. But we
made it work.
We made it work.
And look, guys, 3 toddler kids, and my wife couldn't work. I'm glad she didn't, because she was able to be home with the kids. But 3 toddler kids, you know what you're going to spend in babysitting? Oh my God. And this was back in the 90s. It was, what was it? Like the cheapest we could find was $5 an hour for each child. And look, that's 20 some years ago. I mean, our kids are in their 20s now. They're adults, but and we couldn't afford that. So it'd be cheaper for my wife to be home with the kids.
We complained about that then. Now it is. I'm not too much. Yeah, I'm not complaining too much right now. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and they're paying afford. Our daughter and her husband has two girls, and one's 7, one's 6 months or 8 months.
Yeah,
she's getting close to a year.
Yeah, close to a year.
So I mean, they're paying through the nose when they got to use a babysitter, and my daughter's got a career and she's doing great. He's got his career. That financially they're doing very well, but it's expensive when they got to use that babysitter, and
different times.
Yeah, much different. But
did you guys have any questions for me or anything else that you would like to ask? Or
I just want to hear, because when I listen to your story, I'm just it's amazing. I just want to learn about your values, because when you guys were talking about when you met and you said that you knew that Brent was for you, I know you mentioned him being Christian and him being just a good guy overall, but what were some core values that you knew that because of your self-worth, what you deserved? I just want to hear your checklist, if you will, of what you believe that you deserve, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I had I had a checklist, but then it was when I met him and talked to him, pretty much the checklist went out the window at that moment in time. Because for me, when he met my mother, and when my mother liked him, because my mom, she's like my best friend. She is a good judge of character. So when my mom met him, she liked him right off the back. So when he left our house, and I said, well, what do you think? She goes, I like him. She goes, it seems like he's a genuine person. She goes, I really do. I like him. And my mother's really, really stickler. She'll let you know if he's no good or anything else like that. But when it came down to my mom, I knew I was okay. And so my next step was to go ahead and, all right, I'll give him a chance, get to know him. And the thing of it is that we had, when we talked, our relationships that we went through were almost about the same. So that was another point right there. How his character, he's judging on my character, his character, how he was, how he presented himself, and the same things what we wanted out of life it was the same thing we wanted. We wanted to have a family, we wanted to have children, we wanted to, just have each other's back, just be there when it's good or bad. If if it came down to the point where we just eating bologna sandwiches or mayonnaise sandwiches, what my mom will call it, are you still going to be there for the long haul? We're going to still do that? Are we going to still be there for each other? And we came to realization is that we're going to be there. And I saw that character in him when I met his parents. They told me about him, and when I met his friends, they all said the same thing. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm in a good place. I feel good. And so once we got to talking and spend more time with each other, and we call each other all the time. I mean, it's like nonstop. So the more I just felt comfortable, I felt you get that feeling like, okay, this is good for me. And the next step was
to excel.
Yep. And the next step was like, okay, well, we'll see where it goes from them. Then, all of a sudden, here we go, and he's getting ready to go to training, and he was like, "All right, you ready to get married?" And that's how it started. So it was it felt really good because out of the relationships that I have been in, I had put up a wall, and I wasn't going to be very difficult if I met the next person. And what I mean by difficult, well, I was just gonna, just be just there because I've been hurt. I can't pass that on to this person that I met because this person never did nothing to me, never did anything bad to me. So why am I going to reflect what I've been through, hurt, and just been messed over on him? So I had to pull that wall down a little bit, just a little, and then meet him and just talk to him and get to know him and meet his family and meet meet the people that are around him. And then the more I did that, the more I felt good. And so, like I said, with my checklist, I did have but then after that, I just pretty much dropped that and just pretty much just, got to know that person and whatever, and went on from there. And then next, we were married after that. And
yeah,
the rest is history.
Somebody had Faith Green
beautiful.
has a question. What made you decide to start dating white men?
Well, Brent was my first
and last.
First and last. I think for me, it was just like, at this moment point in time, why am I why I'm going to not give it a try. I mean, what's holding me back? We also, we got to get to know everybody. You get to know that person, you talk to that person and see who that person is. And I saw the qualities, and I loved his character. I loved his heart. His heart was just, Brent will do anything for you. I can't explain that enough. He'll do it. You tell him, if friends come up to him, I need $10. He'll give you his last $10. And if he sees that you need to eat or sees that you need to have something, he'll give you that. And then he'll just scrape change or whatever to go ahead and just give him a sandwich or whatever. He doesn't let nobody know that. He just does it, and that's what I loved about him, because he's like, and I told him, I said, well, I didn't want to buy. He goes, why you didn't tell me? I said, oh, I gotta take care. No, I'll do that. That's, you tell me and I do what I'm supposed to do. And that's and ever since then, that's just what I, And
it helps if you're if you're dating a woman, it always helps to fill up her mom's sectional with stuffed animals. Her mom had a huge sectional couch. It was nice. And I bought her a stuffed animal when we started dating. Every payday, I bought her a stuffed animal, one or two. And I was buying her the nice ones, like the Pink Panther and the different cartoon character ones. And I filled up her couch.
Those are the days. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at with my checklist. But yeah, it's it, and then here we are. But yeah.
Hello, LV. Good to see you. Green Goddess, welcome to the panel.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Brent.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm so glad that I could join. Thank you for letting me on. I have a question for Sandy. How did you did you have any? Okay, this is for both Brent and Sandy. Sorry. Like with Brent's friends, did you have any like of his friends that were disrespectful when you guys got together in the beginning?
Actually, no. His friends were fine. Um, that I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't put up with
Alberts
them.
and them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean
wouldn't.
they
I
were.
wouldn't put up with them being disrespectful to her.
Yeah.
That
You
and,
know, like
and
passive aggressive, like, I don't know. I was just curious.
Yeah, no. When I met his friends, actually they were really nice. Um, we all went together, and sometimes we would go out together. During sometimes when they
we did double
double
dating.
dating and stuff like that, or met at a friend's party. So no, I have his friends that he's been, high school, well, elementary, I think, was for the longest time. I never had any uh problems with them. They always, every time they see me, they treated me nice. They always said hello. Albert always hugged me and asked me how I was doing. I mean, so so with our friends, my friends knew Brent.
Yeah.
If you have miss with Afro Angelique when she interviewed her, my friends knew Brent.
Yeah.
See, I did not
That's
know
the
he
crazy
was
thing.
friends with my friends.
Yeah, and
So he worked. So there was two of my friends that he worked with, and they knew him. And so
when I was 16 and
Yeah.
17,
so
I didn't meet my wife till I was 24.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing about it is her friends were my friends,
Mhm.
and we'd hang out to where, and I didn't know my wife till years.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We went to the same parties and we missed
Yeah,
each other. And we went to the same hangout places and we missed each other. So it was when my friends they found out I was dating Brent, they were like, "No, you can't, Brent." So when they
Yeah.
said yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, Brent, yeah, he's nothing but good things. He's a good guy." Brent's one of my friends said Brent's a keeper. And I was like, okay, so here's more feedback I got. So the more feedback I was getting, which was really odd, because how does that happen when you have friends that know him and we never seen each other? So it was
because we grew up in the same town. I mean, we're from the same place,
knew the same people,
and maybe that's why our marriage kicked off easy. We're pretty much in the same culture. Yeah, she's black and I'm white, but we grew up in the same town, same state,
friends,
eating the same food, doing the same
places. Didn't know it.
And the community, like I said, the black population is like 2.4% or something.
We're growing a little bit.
And she was used to being around white people, even though I'm the first white guy she dated. So I think that it was a smooth thing. Where other situations, if she grew up in a predominantly black community, and maybe there would be some issues because we just don't know each other. Maybe it helped. We have the same culture from the same place.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we never, with our friends, they knew, and they were like, okay, everybody was cool.
And the thing of it is I dated black women exclusively from age 16 on. So whenever I had a girlfriend, it was a black girl back when I was in high school, so they were used to it. They knew what I was into. They knew where my heart was. So they're my friends. They accepted me for who I am. The ones that didn't care for me being interested in black women, well, they got taught. I broke contact and kicked them to the curb. I mean, but yeah, I wouldn't allow her to be disrespected. I mean,
I have another question. Um, this one is for Brent, and I have the same question for Sandy. Um, when Brent, when you first started dating black women, did you feel a sense of embarrassment to be like holding hands in public?
no, I didn't. The embarrassment I felt is she's going to think I'm weird and stupid, and she's not going to like me, and and she's that was the embarrassment. But being with her, oh no, look, I always loved black women, and you know what? I didn't feel embarrassed, but I was never told I couldn't date black women. I was never told by my father and stepmother that you don't do this. No, they knew where I was going before I started dating. Look, and my mother too. They told me, they said, we knew you were going to marry a black woman before you started dating. We seen, and it started when I was a little kid. With that babysitter, with the images of black women back in the day, Donna Summer. You remember her? You remember Thelma at Good Times? Yeah, and believe it, us white people watch those black shows too. Yeah, we loved it just as much as we did. So the image I seen of black women was an image of a positive image, an image of beauty, success. Donna Summer. Who didn't like Donna Summer back in the day? That's a black woman. Thelma from Good Times. I didn't watch it because JJ was funny. Thelma was, that's where my eyes were looking.
So, Sandy, did you feel embarrassed to be like holding hands in public, showing public displays of, togetherness?
No, I didn't. There was, and my friends always asked me about that, yeah, about that too. They were like, aren't you, that's a little bit, because because I'd never been, dated a white man, so they were like, that has to be uncomfortable. No, it wasn't for me. Because for me, that's like a challenge. I like a challenge. So when he would hold my hand, I would hold his, and I would lean on his shoulder. So because I knew people were looking, and they wanted something to talk about. So, but I was just comfortable with him. So I was okay. So it was just me and him, and for everybody else, I just really didn't. It didn't faze me at all. It really didn't faze me at all.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Questions?
Now, I have to say, I did experience the passive aggression from my husband's friends and family, even though my family was more laid back about my husband being white. But when we would go out in public, other black men would be very loud and obnoxious, saying stuff as we were walking by. So that even now, they aren't loud and obnoxious, but the climate that we're in. How if you've been on the internet for long enough, things that black men say about us. But then I see angry looks sometimes when now we are an odd couple though too, but that's another story.
Well, yeah.
But the older black men looking kind of angry that we're together because all the stereotypes that there are about us. And I'm in the grocery store and I'm walking over to a pork loin roast and I'm going, so are you interested in pulled pork, pork chops, pork fried rice? Just being very accommodating when these men are telling everybody we're impossible to share the same house with. And I'm walking over to a pork loin and I'm explaining all the possibilities. and is he interested in all the possible things I could make with pork loin? So anyway. But yeah, they got an angry look, and I'm going, I don't know what your problem is. Your girlfriend's probably Mexican or white too. I mean, I don't see why you're looking over here.
And you're right. And I agree with you on what you just said. And to take that, to take that back, yeah,
I want to tell her about. Speaking of that, black men giving dirty looks. We're at the VFW, right? A lot of old retired guys, right? Veterans, and we're like middle-aged people, and there was a couple black guys there. There was one guy. He was, just singing karaoke and acting silly and just like, hey, how's it going? No problems. And there was one guy that was with a Mexican woman,
yeah,
and just a turd, just dirty looks and just odd comments, and he just rolling his eyes at me and my wife, like, what the heck? It's weird. It's like he was doing in an interracial relationship, but man, because a black woman's in one. Yeah, it's the oddest thing.
Yeah, I don't understand that either, unless it's just that they feel like the hierarchy beneath them is disappearing. So I guess if they don't have the bottom tier of the pyramid, well, then that means they're on the bottom of the pyramid.
Well, you know what? Us white men are getting very successful black women. I mean, professional black women. My wife's very professional in the corporate world, and she's very traditional too. And that's how our daughters are. Right? Our daughters are a reflection of my wife. They really are, and it's a beautiful thing.
Right. I mean, it goes back to because
that's cool.
It goes back to because it's like, excuse me, my throat here. I do apologize. It goes back to, well, you didn't want to have nothing to do with this in the beginning. So when we were there and wanted to be there for you at the time, so you didn't want us then, you didn't want us in the beginning, and so now that we are moving on, which we should, instead of because I'm not going to wait. Now you have a problem because you don't like it, but yet we're supposed to tolerate whatever that you bring, and I'm just not going to do it. We went to the grocery store, and I haven't noticed this for a long time. I'm the one that always has my guard up. He is just nonchalant about anything. Nothing doesn't phrase him. He don't look nothing. So he's really like nonchalant about some things. Me, I always had my guard up because if somebody was looking, or you can just feel eyeballs in the back of your head. You just know you can feel the presence when you're walking, when people don't care for much or like it. So that's for me. I just turned that much up on because I'm, oh honey, what do you want? What do you want to do? What? And that's how I am, because I do that because I know it pisses them off. Anyway.
Yeah.
We went to Walmart when they went shopping, and had a couple. They were behind us, just checked out our groceries, and he was with an Hispanic lady. They had a child. It was with their son. And
well, that's the majority.
And he was mad. He was upset. He gave me just, and I, when I see, couples, I'm like, I say hi, and did a little head tilt, and no, that wasn't, no. And he just gave me this look like, what are you doing? So me, as a person I am, just poured it on a little bit more, and then just went about my business. It's like, it gets old after a while. It's pretty much, you could go ahead and do and move on, but us as Black women, we can't do that, or there's something always have to be said, or there's always something has to be said about us. Either we're too dark and too short, we're not this and this and that, and here we are. We have a checklist. Well, you didn't want me then, so I went to somebody that wants me for who I am, had the time to go ahead and be with me for who I was. And now I'm just living my best life. So I'm living my best life with my husband.
I have another question. How did Brent? How did you learn how to do your children's hair? I'm so curious. Like, say, did you teach them, and how was that?
Oh, how I learned to do my children's hair?
Yeah, like, did you ever
Oh,
do it?
I never learned. My son, it was easy. I cut his hair, and in the army, I learned how to cut black men's hair. From the back forward, and my how they get the waves they like. Well, my son, I cut his, and he's got those waves, not as much, but they're like longer waves. It looks pretty good actually. But I could cut hair, so my son was easy. My daughters, oh my God,
He tried.
I
He
tried, and look, my youngest daughter, her hair is so long and it's curly, it's beautiful, but it's like it's so thick, and I mean, she has hair to her butt. I mean, it just she could grow hair like no tomorrow. Our oldest daughter, well, my youngest daughter has hair like my mother. She had really long hair. It's mostly straight. It is curly, but our youngest daughter got more. Our oldest daughter got more of Sandy's hairstyle, more of a black woman's hairstyle. Both their hair is beautiful, but fixing their hair, no. I failed at that task. My wife had to come through. My daughter had to help me. My oldest daughter with my youngest daughter, and I tried to do her hair, and my oldest daughter's like, "Dad, no, that."
Can I ask
I
a
have a follow-up question.
Sure.
I'm sorry, who was that? You can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question for that one. How do you teach your children the importance of loving their half side of the half side of themselves, the black side of themselves and the white side of themselves versus how black men and white women teach their children? Because I always see a stark difference in how they educate their children in regards to how they love their ethnicity.
Well, our thing is we didn't want our kids to favor one part of the family towards the other, and we taught them you are both, and you you know you're not beneath anybody, you're not above anybody either. We're people, okay? You're beautiful how you are. You got the best of both worlds, and it's a beautiful thing. And we taught them that. That don't mean you're better than black people or white people, and it don't mean you're less than them either. And we went with that. Not one is better. We want them to love, Sandy's mother and love my father. I mean, and we just went with that. And we told them that there are different. Me and your mom love each other, and you're a product of love, and it's a blessing. And we went with that. And that's really how they carry themselves today. They don't go around saying they're black or white. They're people. They don't really emphasize that. If they ask, "What are you?" Well, my mother was black. My mother's black, and my dad's white. And
and we had and our family was always involved, so we were always together. In family functions and family functions and family gatherings, so we were always together, and so that just made it a lot more easier. But I always, like he said, we always taught our kids, you don't favor one. If you want somebody to go ahead and respect yourself as an individual. Because in this world you're going to carry yourself when you start and how people are going to perceive you. So I always tell my kids, learn, ask questions. The people that are around you love you. You grow off that, and if people want to get to know you as for you, then they get to know you as you. If they don't want to have anything to do with you, they don't have anything to do. Don't have anything to do with them. My kids are always say, well, they always get the question of, oh, you have a black mom. How is it that you raised by a black mom? They get some of those questions because when I go to my kids' functions now, when my kids would go to school, they automatically assumed that their mom was white. So when I go to functions and go to schools and everything else, and and events, they saw me. They're like, "Oh, we just assumed that your mom's like, no, my mom,
Yeah,
I'm black." And so they would get these questions, and they would get, "Wow, how does it feel?" Because some of the other the kids, the race of kids were raised, their mother was white. And so they always ask the kids, my kids, how, really your mom's, how is that? And so, but we always just make sure we raise them as individuals for their character, not choose either side. And so that's why I wanted my kids to go up raised with their heads held up high. They knew their personality and their character.
yeah.
May I ask a question?
Okay. Hey, thanks, Alexander, for the super chat. He says, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
When either of you get angry at each other, or sorry, are there any, like, how people say things when they're angry? Is there any kind of racial stuff that is
No.
said, like the N word or stuff?
No, look, that word, we don't use that, and our kids are not allowed to use that at all.
Not particularly that, but like,
No,
is any racial insults happening?
no,
Does that
no.
happen?
I've said some mean things to my wife, but I never used race in that. I just I wasn't raised that way. In fact, there's a lot of racial slurs I didn't even know were racial slurs. We just didn't say that.
No.
And beyond popular belief that all white people use the N word and want to, and when we're together secretly we do it. No, that's a lie. There are white people that do say that word, but in my family, no, that wasn't tolerated. And I've never lashed out at anger and referred to her race. And when you don't live that way, it don't slip. I've seen people. When I was in the Army, there was a white guy and a black guy got in an argument, and it was heated, and they were going to get in a fight, and the white guy said a racial slur, and he said the N word, and he said, "I'm sorry, it slipped. I didn't mean it." Well, usually it slips when you use that word. When racial slurs slip, it's because you use them. You might use them in private, but I never used it, so it didn't come out. I wasn't angry at her. It was something that we were arguing about, or something I felt she did wrong, and I went in on that. I never dug into racial things. This
is pretty much whatever that we got into the fight about is pretty much that's what we stuck with the subject. But anything as far as anything else slipping out, no, I never said anything for him. He's never said nothing else like to me.
That's very interesting. That if the person slips, that means they use it. That's why it slips. That's a good thing to. That's a good thing to remember. I have another question. Have you ever, Sandy? Have you ever felt like Brent would rather be with a white woman?
No.
No. Hey, look. No. When I was dating and with my wife, when we were dating, the black women never feared Becky because they knew I wasn't there.
It's not that
a black woman, but not a white. No.
When I met his parents, and as he heard the story, his parents told me the same thing.
Yeah.
And they said he was just not. His mom told me that. She's like, no, that's just not was his cup of tea, as she would say. She goes, it just wasn't. So they knew he was going to end up with a black woman, and so they were just happy, and that they're just happy with me I'm just kidding. But
They were. No, you're not
so,
lying.
but yeah, that no. Mm-mm.
I feel like you guys are like an ideal situation. That's wonderful, but yeah, it's just you guys are like unicorns because I don't know. It's kind of interesting that these are real concerns and that you guys don't have any experience with any of it.
And
Thanks.
yeah, I think because I don't know how to go ahead and put that. You know, with my father being in the service, and I grew up with a lot of diversity and everything else, which I appreciated because I got to see a lot of things and learn a lot of things, and then also my mom too as well. I mean, she was a backbone. My dad was too. My dad towards the end, he was in service. He was in Vietnam. He was really sick, and so I had I dated and I brought guys home to meet my family, and and my dad knew that he probably wasn't going to be there for long, but he sat me down and he told me, he says, you know what, I'm going to tell you, I want you to be happy. He goes, I want you to be happy, whoever that you're going to be with. He goes, I don't care what color they are, I don't care who they are, as long as they treat you good and they have good character and you love them and they love you. That's all I want. Those words stuck with me because my father knew, and my father didn't hold he didn't hold back for anything. If he didn't like you, he just did not. And when the guys I brought home, he's like, nope, nope. And so, and I was really, and I had with my mom, I was just really sad because I wanted him to, I wish he would have met Brett because I knew he would like him because what my dad wanted was seeking for me. This is who he had. This is who he wanted, and it didn't matter color. It did. He said it doesn't matter. He goes, as long as you're happy and this man treats you right, and you're happy with him, and good character. He says that's all I want for you. He says I know I probably won't be living long to go ahead and see. He goes, but that's what I want you. So that stuck with me, and so from there on, that's how I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have, just be open minded. Why not? I don't have anything. I don't have nothing to lose. I mean, why not? Just go ahead and just, you know, meet, talk, get to find, figure this person out, meet, talk, you put your questions out there that you want to go ahead and meet this person and go on from there. And then you be that judge and then and see how that person reacts. So, but yeah, that's pretty much where.
I think there was a question, Faith Grace, how did you advise them who to date? Our children? Let me say this. Now, when it comes to dating, and I know this is going to sound bad, but my daughters, they've always been with white guys. Our daughter, youngest Hispanic. But if they brought a black man home, I would cringe. And it's not because they're black. It's what I see in the world. It's the stats I look at. And when I hear baby mama, I just cringe because I'm like, I hope nobody ever calls my daughter a baby mama. I just, but if it's a real man that loves my daughters, like Christ loved the church, I don't, the race of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do cringe when it's black men, just how I've seen them treat black women. And on the other hand, if our son brought a black woman home, I would be happy to see that. I've even talked to my son like, hey, you need to look at black women because you know what? I see black women as the best choice. Now he can marry who he wants, but I see black women as the best choice from my experiences, from data that I see, from the wife I got. I want my son to have a wife like my wife, like his mother. And I see that in black women. And I encourage him to date black women. I do. Maybe that's bias, but from what I've seen, that's the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, who they date's their choice, okay? I'm going to love my kids no matter what. I just hope they get good quality people that they marry. But yeah, I do encourage. I talked to my son about black women because he was asking me about Asian women being submissive and good traditional wives. I said they're out there, but look at black women. You're going to find a more loving, more traditional woman in a black woman. And if you do what you're supposed to as a man, and look, my son will have more access to black women than I ever could dream of. He's biracial, and you know it would fit in better than being with a white man, with, you know, within the black community and white community. And it shouldn't be that way. You should be just with who you love. But I see black women as the prize. I see black women as that treasure. I think black women are the best choice. I gave a black woman my name, my wealth, and I encourage my son to be with, you know, look for a good black woman because I believe that to be the best.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to Jane Elliott and other women of no color.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, well, it was really for. Sandy, this is actually for a Brent question, but perhaps you could answer it too. Do you believe that majority of men of other races are raised? I mean, races are raised to be racist against black people?
I feel that with the men?
Yeah, men and women. I mean, yeah, white people. I have a feeling that the Asian community really frowns upon the black race, like so, and I have a feeling that, you know, even the Hispanic, it's just like really hard. Like as a black woman, it's not easy to open up our options when we have this feeling. Well, I have this feeling that other races are raised to be racist. You know,
right?
And a majority of white men are raised to not like black people or black women. What do you think about that?
Who was that term? I'm sorry, who else was?
Oh no, I was gonna say
I don't believe that. There are racist white people raised to hate black people, but I don't believe it's the majority. I think the majority has misconceptions and stereotypes they go with. I don't think it's just pure hate trading to just be racist. It's like, you know, we're conditioned to believe a certain way. We've been segregated for so long that we develop stereotypes, generalizations, and unfortunately, when we're separated, a lot of times we do develop animosity towards one another, and there are sometimes hate is developed. Racism, it's a taught thing, but I don't believe most white people are trained to be racist. I don't.
Yeah, a lot of people are spoon fed a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it's. I think it's
go
something.
Ahead and continue on, and then next thing you know, it's
and I'm not
different.
I'm not saying they're not out there. They're out there. We've dealt with racist white people, yes, but most of the time, people aren't against our our relationship. A lot of times it's misconception. We get the stares. Sometimes it don't mean they hate you or it's out of disgust. They just might be curious. We had an elderly couple approach us while we're eating. I thought, oh my God, what are they going to tell us? He said,
Somebody asked me if I was a mammy, and I'm a Black woman trying to live in this world. Okay, I don't appreciate anyone in my race calling one another bullet bags and mammies
okay.
and things of that sort. Because if that's what's going to go on this channel, I will just exit the program. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay. I don't know what just happened.
No, unfortunately, we do have some immature members in the chat that were name calling. So that was that.
We got
in the
95 people watching. Not everybody's going to agree with you.
Yeah, so
I
that's what
can't.
happened.
Yeah. Okay. But
It's not the place for that.
No, it's not.
Yeah. You know what though? Hey, but look, we have a good marriage, a good relationship, and let's focus on that. I mean, hey, I don't know. I felt there was some digs coming. I don't know, going into racism, and I don't know how we're uncomfortable.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? Black women, white men, we are the best for each other. We are, and I would say we need to come together more often. We're seeing, success, and when you find love in marriage, there's nothing like it. It's a beautiful thing.
I have a question as well. Like,
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
thinking about it for both of you guys. If you, as a Black woman, if you are interested in dating out, I know Brent, you've said that you've only been interested in Black women. Would you recommend, and as well, Sandy, would you recommend for a Black woman to date a man of no color who only has interest in Black women, or is that like a safer option? Safer, if that makes sense. Like, is it better for the guy to be his preference to be Black woman, pretty much, rather than a guy just like experimenting?
Yeah, I'll give my opinion on that, and then Sandy can give hers. I think that Black women are better off with a man that's just in the Black women, that really loves Black women, because that's where his heart is. Um, and I know people look at it like weird. Okay, you only dated Black women. That's kind of weird. Is that a fetish? No, it's not. What it is that's where my heart is. That's who I love. That's who I want to be with. So when I'm with a Black woman and we're in a relationship, I'm all in. And I can get through the stereotypes and generalization easier because that's who I want to be with. As opposed to somebody that can date anybody. And I'm not saying that's bad, because you can find true love in a guy that just looking for a good woman, right? Regardless of what she looks like. And there's guys out there like that. Nothing wrong with that. But I think when your heart is all in, you're better off. And I've always wanted to date Black women that love white men, and the ones that want to be with white men exclusively, I've had better relationships. And that don't mean it's going to work that way, but usually I think there's a better chance for success. Now, my wife, I'm the first white guy she dated. So, with that being said, she would have married a good man that I don't think she cared what color. Me,
and I didn't know his background, so I didn't know he was like that, like Black woman. But so yeah, but you know what? I found the best option on a woman that never dated a white guy. So I mean, it could go either way, but I say it's
I think there's better of a chance if he's really into you. If he loves black women, and I'm not talking loving the black culture, I'm talking about loving the women. He's not trying to change who he is and live in that cultural setting. He just loves black women, and that's who he wants to be with. Mm-hmm. And it's probably because he's had positive experiences with black women, mm-hmm. and it developed. But that's my opinion on that. And
yeah, for when I met Brent, I didn't know, that he was attracted to black women. So for me, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and see what this person's all about, and see what this person is, and just ask questions and see how you feel, just kind of ask questions that you as a person want to know about this person that you're talking to, that you're dealing with. As I got to know Brent, then I found out that yes, he was all into black women, which I was like, wow, okay, so you do know some things, a little bit, things come a little bit easier. Yeah, he knew about, just little things like hair grease, things that we take for, hair, black women's hair and stuff like that. And just little things he knew, which made it, okay, it made it a little bit easier. I could go ahead and, talk to him things about, or he knew things about, so it made it easier. And so, as far as that, that makes it easier, but still too, you got to get to go ahead and know the person too, because, if you're both in something new or something, trying this out, give it a chance. Cause like I said, I did not know until afterwards. So I was putting myself out there, not knowing what he was all about.
I love that. Cause I agree with you, cause a black woman who isn't fully divested, she'll go looking for like a white Tyrone. Like you see them with a white person as a caricature of a black man. It's a strange thing. It's like an inverted black guy, white girl. So
yes, and that's problems. Yeah, that's just that's that could be a major turnoff. And then it's like, well, that's a major turnoff, but that's just that person until and who knows, the next person might be a little bit more.
And you know what? With that being said, I love being a white man. I love living in my white community. The only difference is I love black women, and I want my black wife to live with me, right?
Yeah.
So I never changed who I am. Mm-hmm. I just love the women I loved, and I love my wife. And you know what? And the beautiful thing is I don't live, I am in a white community, but I don't live in the collective. I don't do things because I think white men need to do this, so I got to be like that, and I need to do this. No, I'm a free thinking individual.
Yeah, he is.
And I do what I want, and that's the best way to be. And you know what? I'm with the best woman I could find, and that's my wife. And she's above all women on earth to me. And that pedestal I built is for her. She's my treasure. The virtuous woman, when I read that, I think of my wife. I think of black women and the love and the nurturing and the spirituality that black women bring to a relationship. I mean, it's the blueprint. It really is. But hey, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up. We're running a little bit late.
A little bit?
Yeah, they'll be okay. Yeah, just text.
Fine, it's okay.
Yeah, we're going to have
Thanks
to.
so much.
Yes, thank you very much, both of you.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, ladies. Let me.
It was nice talking to you guys.
You too, Sandy. You too, Brent.
Thank you so much.
You guys are really nice, and I appreciate all the love and the respect, and thank you so much. It was always a pleasure coming on talking to you, ladies. I haven't been on very much; it's been crazy, but thank you for having me on. I always like to talk to you guys.
Yeah, and hey, ladies, you're the three left. Hey, do you guys know my email?
No, I'm afraid not.
No.
Is it in
Okay.
the description box?
Oh, is it?
It's on my community page. I'm gonna put it on the screen, ladies,
Okay.
and make sure you put your name. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Because you guys have been awesome and a good sport, and I enjoyed talking to you. Me and Sandy did. I'm going to cash app you guys each $15.
Are you serious?
Are
Yeah.
Oh
you
my gosh.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness. I didn't know there was a raffle or a sweepstakes.
hey,
Yeah.
Neither did I.
hey, you guys lasted till the end of the show. Oh, Michael Ray put it up there. Okay. I put it there too. Um, yeah, make sure Roadrunner. Okay, it's all lowercase, but make sure you put nm89 at gmail.com. A lot of people make the mistake of not putting the nm before 89, and it won't go through. So make sure you put the nm89 at gmail.com. And just in the email, put your screen name here. Because if I see your real name, I'm not going to who you put your screen name like Princess Maya, Tina, Brand, and L. Put that in there. And put your Cash App, and I will send you $15. I'll
Thank
do
you.
it.
Wow.
I'll do it immediately. And if you don't
Thank you
have
very much.
if you
Oh,
don't have
thanks so
a Cash
much.
App, I can send you a gift card. But if you want the money tonight, in fact, I'll do it before I get off. If you guys email me that quick.
Wow.
If you don't, I'll get it to you tonight.
He said he was going to do that at the when he first started the show.
Yeah, I told my
already
wife
had
I was
been
going to do that.
Yeah.
So, ladies, since you guys lasted the whole show, I'm going to give you each $15. And that just
Hey, awesome.
me and my wife Sandy showing you guys love, and that's just a little appreciation for Black women. And I wish I was a millionaire where I could send every Black woman on the channel money, but the real world is you three ladies. You know, I'll send that to you. I don't have no email yet. Okay, but did you guys get that written down?
Yep, I
Yep,
did.
I got it written down. My computer's
Okay.
buffering.
Okay. And remember, it's all lowercase. I know Roadrunner, just Roadrunner NM89 at gmail.com. Okay. And my email is also on my community wall. If you go through it, it's like towards the bottom, it has a picture of a Roadrunner, the cartoon, and it's got my email address there too. But write that down and send me an email, ladies, and I'll send you that money right away. Okay?
I just sent it.
How did you?
Yeah.
Okay, my email's under a different name, so I'll just send a screenshot of my profile letting you know that it's my name.
Okay, yeah, just so I
it
know.
was.
Because if I get like 30 emails of, hey, I'm here for the 50, I know that. Yeah. Thanks for the $5, Alexander. He did a live last night. You can review it if you want. Okay, I'll watch it. Thank you so much, Alexander. Appreciate that.
Oh, J10 wants to know what are you going to do for Valentine's Day for me?
Whatever she wants me to do.
That far yet?
Oh no, I've been thinking. It'll probably be a Michael Kors bag. That's usually what we do. But yeah, and of course I gotta take her to dinner and movie or dancing, whatever she wants to do. Bottom line is, it's her day, Valentine's Day, so I do whatever she wants. Well, that's every day, isn't it?
I just want to thank you. Like, you guys, I know it's my time, but Sandy, you give me like major auntie energy, and like I live for it. Like,
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Let me I'm going hey you just sent me your email. Let me do the Cash App real quick and let me know that you got it. Let's see, where is that?
Michael, he said, "Brent, can you dance?"
No, but they don't know that. Uh, uh my wife tells me I can, so I'll just believe her. Um
Hey, Mr. Brandt, I'm actually on my phone right now. I'm not on a desktop computer, so I will definitely send you my email right after I got the chat.
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, don't forget to send me that email. Okay, I'm gonna
hey,
send.
Brent, Michael was asking if you can dance in the
Uh,
comments.
uh,
They are funny
yes
in
and
there.
no. It don't matter as long as I have fun, right? My wife says I can because she loves me, and when someone
I can. So yeah. So I can. So I have to hear. So I have to guide him a little bit. I have to help him out. I'll help him out. And then when it's like little line dances, like the Cupid Shuffle or like stuff like that, yeah, I can. We can maneuver a little bit more. So he can dance in those. That he can do that.
oh yeah, I can shuffle. Yeah, I can do
He
that.
can shuffle.
Gotta do that Cupid shuffle.
Yep. Okay, says don't worry, Brett. My husband can't dance either. He
Yeah.
says,
Well, good. I'm not alone.
Thank
Well,
you.
well, with a bunch of guys, I'm not, a bunch of white guys. I'm not alone. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, I just said $15. Did you get it? Let me see here. Elle, did you get it?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
Oh,
I just
all
got the
right.
text message
Awesome.
notification.
Okay. If you don't have one, I'll send you a gift card. Or
Thank you so much.
yeah, just
Well, thank you. It was nice talking to you.
it was
You
nice talking to you,
too.
lady.
And you, Miss
Oh,
Princess, nice
I'm just
talking to
showing
you
on here.
too.
Sorry, I'm cutting Sandy out.
That's okay.
I'm in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and I should be. Hey guys, thank you so much. I sent one Cash App. Ladies, send me your email. If you don't have one, I'll send you a gift card. Okay. I know not everybody has the Cash App, so I'll do that for you. And I just want to show you ladies some love. You know what? I've been blessed, and I want to bless you too. And ladies, you've
Thank
been
you.
awesome tonight. Everybody in
Yes,
the
thank
chat,
you guys.
thanks for the questions. And black women, tonight is about you. My love is for you. It always is, but tonight on this channel, it's about you. This is Wednesday night. We're gonna call it Ladies Night, and whenever I do a Ladies Night, okay, uh, I'll do a little gift like this at the end. I'm not going to tell you how much or who gets it. It might be a competition thing where you got to answer questions, but I will have a giveaway when I have a Ladies Night. Okay, and but anyway, on behalf of myself, my beautiful wife Sandy, we love you guys, and ladies, keep your head up. You deserve the best because you are the best. Remember that. You are that treasure. You are the prize. Not no man is a prize. You are the virtuous woman, right? Bible tells us who the prize is. And black women, you're leading the way when it comes to women, your accomplishments, your love, your loyalty. So don't forget that. And me and my wife Sandy, we love you guys, and we'll see you. I'll probably be on this weekend coming up sometime. Okay, depending on the work schedule and stuff. and I got a TikTok channel I've been working on. I only got 3 videos, but that's a work in progress. I don't have much time, but I go on there and watch TikToks a lot, so I figure why not create a couple. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Have a good night.
Take care.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brand. Thank you, Miss Sandy. You have a great night. And I'll
You
get that
too.
eagle to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And
Thank
guys,
you.
have a good night. God bless you and your families. And
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you soon. Elle?
Sorry, it just dropped me.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good night. It was
You
good
too.
talking to you. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight was about you, Black women, and I hope me and Sandy showed you some love.
Yeah. Thank you for the compliments, and thank you for showing me love. I appreciate it. You guys have been so sweet and nice. So thank you very much for having me on. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, Tina, what's up? I got your cash app.
Oops. Oh, I wasn't sure if I got kicked off or what happened. But anyway, good night and have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I didn't kick you off. It was StreamYard, and sometimes that happens. And that's why I tell people if you get kicked off, it's not me, it's just StreamYard sometimes does that. I've been on live where I get kicked off but yeah.
Oh, I get it. I thought it could have been my Wi-Fi too. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it could be that too. It could be a number of things. But anyway, thank you for coming on, and I'm going to send your cash app. I just got your email, so
awesome.
You'll receive it soon, and have a good night, young lady.
You too. And thanks again for your platform. I know it takes a lot of guts to get on here and put up with everything that comes with YouTube land.
Oh yeah, that's
you ain't kidding.
That's
thank you, Miss Tina.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good night. God bless. All right, guys, I'll see you. We're going off to dinner. We're going to be late, but that's okay. We spent our time with you guys, and we had a great time.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless. All right.